What happens when you ignore a narcissist? Have you ever felt the distinct tension in the air when dealing with someone who seems to have an insatiable need for attention, admiration, and control? Imagine for a moment that you decide to stop indulging their demands entirely. What happens when you choose to ignore a narcissist? As we dive into this complex topic, we will explore not only the immediate reactions of the narcissist, but also the longer-term implications for both you and them. Prepare for insights that may challenge your understanding of relationships and empower your personal growth. In today's exploration, we also invite you to engage with our community. If you find this exploration of narcissism enlightening, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this content. Your participation is crucial in helping us reach more people who might be grappling with similar issues. Together, we can foster a deeper understanding of these challenging dynamics. So, let's begin our investigation into the tumultuous world of narcissists and discover what truly unfolds when you choose to ignore them. When you first encounter a narcissist, they can be alluring, drawing you into their orbit with charm and charisma. They possess an uncanny ability to captivate those around them, often captivating attention through grandiose stories and an exaggerated sense of self-worth. However, beneath this polished veneer lies a delicate sense of self that is terrified of being disregarded. Once you decide to ignore a narcissist, you start a ripple effect that disrupts their established dynamics. For a narcissist, being bypassed is akin to a personal affront. They thrive on applause and affirmation, and when those are abruptly withdrawn, they confront a void that challenges their very identity. The immediate reaction might be predictable. Expect any number of responses ranging from anger to attempts at emotional manipulation. They may lash out, sulk, or resort to passive-aggressive tactics as they wrestle with this unexpected silence. One critical aspect to grasp is the emotional burden that often accompanies the decision to ignore a narcissist. Initially, there's a sense of empowerment in taking a stand. You reclaim your time and energy, feeling liberated from the cyclical drama that often characterizes relationships with narcissists. Yet, this newfound freedom comes with complexities, such as the mental weight of potential guilt or fear over their retaliation. It can lead to a series of what-ifs. What if they try to manipulate others against me? Or, am I being too harsh? This internal conflict is a common experience, illustrating how intertwined empathy and self-protection can be. As you resist their attempts to provoke a reaction, you might start noticing these emotional currents impacting your mental health in ways that feel new and unsettling. Consider this intriguing scenario. The narcissist you've chosen to ignore might ramp up their efforts to regain attention by turning to others. They can very well charm those around you, painting themselves as the wronged party in your relationship. It's a dramatic pivot designed to elicit sympathy and draw people back into their sphere, leveraging a narrative that serves their interests. They may invoke names of mutual acquaintances, seeking validation from a broader audience to assuage their bruised ego. Their crafty maneuvers can create a toxic environment, particularly if you share mutual friends or acquaintances with them. Ignoring a narcissist doesn't automatically mean your relationships with others remain unaffected. The fallout can lead to distortions in trust, as friends might find themselves caught between you and the narcissist's grandiose tales. Yet, as previously mentioned, you are embarking on a crucial journey of self-discovery when you decide to ignore a narcissist. While the narcissist flails for control, you are reclaiming your autonomy. Your focus shifts from navigating their demands to tending to your own emotional needs. Instead of an emotionally exhausting drudgery, your life begins to take on new dimensions of clarity and purpose. Over time, some fascinating psychological shifts can occur. Many people report a sense of relief and empowerment as they maintain their distance from narcissists. You might find that the boundaries you set become stronger and more defined, helping you articulate your own needs without feeling guilty. This growth fosters resilience, supporting the development of self-esteem that may have been eroded during previous interactions. However, the road can be rocky. It's common for individuals who have stood up to narcissists to experience pushback, not just from the narcissist, but also from others who may find it difficult to understand the dynamics at play. They might question your decisions and express concerns about your well-being, attempting to direct you back into the familiar yet turbulent waters. In these moments, it's crucial to stand firm in your choice, recognizing just how important it is for your mental health to resist recalibrating your boundaries. Narcissists have an extraordinary ability to make you feel as if you are overreacting. Their manipulative language often leaves victims feeling isolated, as if they cannot find a refuge from the emotional chaos. You might begin to notice the behavioral traits that they exhibit more prominently. Their need for validation, despite the fierce persona they project, becomes increasingly clear. In the long run, numerous studies have shown that individuals who take the step to ignore narcissists frequently develop a much deeper understanding of the intricacies of their behavior. By creating emotional distance through this decision to ignore them, you are afforded the unique opportunity to observe patterns of behavior that may have previously been obscured by emotional involvement. This perspective allows for valuable insights into the wider implications of these interactions, enabling you to better assess your own emotional landscape with a newfound sense of clarity and awareness. It is essential not to underestimate the importance of these observations, as they can function as critical learning opportunities on the journey towards greater self-awareness. As you reflect on your experiences, you may find yourself evaluating past behaviors and interactions with the narcissist. You might begin asking yourself introspective and reflective questions such as, "What prompted me to tolerate that kind of behavior?" Or, "What specific need was I attempting to fulfill through our interactions?" This kind of exploration can lead you down a path of rich self-discovery, revealing layers of emotional needs and desires that may have previously gone unaddressed and warrant further attention and consideration. Through this process, you can better understand not only your relationship with the narcissist, but also your own emotional triggers and patterns, ultimately guiding you toward healthier future interactions. Let's delve into the long-term response of the narcissist to being ignored. At first, their reaction may manifest as overt displays of rage or deep sadness, as they attempt, often desperately, to resurface and re-establish the connection that has been severed. This initial reaction can be quite dramatic, filled with emotional outbursts that are designed to elicit a response from you. However, as the period of silence prolongs, they typically begin to shift their strategies for coping. Some may choose to adopt a facade of indifference, outright rejecting the idea that they need your attention or care. This act serves as a shield to protect their fragile self-esteem while creating an illusion of emotional strength. Meanwhile, others may quickly pivot to pursuing new targets, redirecting their energy and focus towards finding alternative sources of validation that can temporarily satisfy their insatiable need for admiration and recognition. These behaviors commonly reveal a strikingly shallow emotional landscape, one that heavily depends on external affirmation and validation while lacking any genuine self-awareness or introspection. This dependency on external sources for their self-worth leaves them ill-equipped to engage in meaningful self-reflection or personal growth. Interestingly, the narcissistic trait of seeking external validation can operate in a reciprocal manner. When they eventually discover someone new who caters to their emotional whims and desires, there is often a noticeable boost in their self-confidence. This newfound confidence can sharply contrast with the confusion and disarray they experienced when you initially chose to ignore them. Such dynamics create a repetitive cycle where, despite having faced temporary rejection, they bounce back with a vigor and intensity that can be startling or alarming to those who are observing their behavior. If they encounter someone who unwittingly sustains their ego and feeds their need for validation, you may witness them eagerly parading this fresh affirmation while conveniently glossing over their previous behavior and treatment toward you. This tendency not only underscores their lack of accountability, but vividly illustrates the depths to which they will go to preserve their self-image and maintain the illusion of superiority, regardless of the emotional costs to others. Moreover, the intricate webs of manipulation they weave can often leave lasting impressions on their psychic landscape. A narcissist's original objective is rooted in maintaining their status as the center of attention, and when faced with prolonged indifference, it disrupts their subconscious narrative. Their efforts to regather attention might become even more aggressive and outrageous over time. The threat of being ignored might make them less charming, pushing the limits of acceptable behavior, as shown in various psychological studies. Despite the alarming behaviors that may emerge, it's essential to distance yourself from concern and perception of danger. Those who choose to ignore a narcissist may find themselves on a path of self-responsibility, where emotional abuse can neither take hold nor dictate their worth. Reclaims of self-esteem, learning about the dynamics of narcissism, and choosing supportive relationships will transform the encounter into a source of empowerment rather than sorrow. So, what does it all mean? Ignoring a narcissist is a profound act that triggers a series of emotional responses both for you and the other person. On your end, you initiate healing and recovery, often setting a new precedent for how you engage with others in future relationships. For the narcissist, it spells a chaotic shake-up to their carefully curated reality, forcing them to confront the fragility of their identity. In closing, thank you for taking this journey into understanding the critical questions surrounding narcissism and the powerful act of ignoring a narcissist. If you found the insights shared today valuable, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing with those who may also be navigating similar issues. Your engagement is vital as we continue to explore the nuanced complexities of human relationships. Together, we encourage learning and growth around these important conversations, cultivating a healthier understanding of ourselves and each other. Stay curious, stay empowered, and remember, your well-being matters most. When the narcissist realizes you're not making love to him anymore. But when we finally wake up to the fact that a narcissist's charm no longer enthralls, we've hit a turning point. Divine signs and the cosmos converge to tell us what we should have known long ago. Narcissists are toxic in a manner that not only degrades us, but also tarnishes our reputation. And so we go on a journey to make ourselves anew, our soul, heart, brain and mind. We shape and change ourselves physically, spiritually, and mentally until every desire to reach back out to them disappears into thin air. No contact with them is often lauded as the best form of protection against their manipulative charms, but sometimes it isn't enough. Sometimes we come to a place where fire-like hues of adoration no longer appeal, and their tarnished reach, otherwise known as the Hoover, lurks ominously, challenging us to do something about it. In such situations, confrontation is the way to go. Not to be mean, but to bring out the truth. They should realize that the extremities to which their narcissism goes are disgusting. You could say to them, "I'm done being interested in your life and the Satan you are. Frolic with your other victims. I'm indifferent to your existence now, and I'm moving on. or any other words that hit closer to their home. The sting of rejection is enough to damage their fragile ego, but emotionally charged sentences increase the impact. They must awaken to the reality that clinging to their diluted notions won't cut it. That explains why they retreat into prolonged periods of silence, pretending there's still hope for a return. Take solace in the fact that it's not up to them to liberate you. That responsibility lies with your resolve to break free, embrace the confusing complexity of your journey, revel in the moments of revelation and growth, because you are destined for a future far removed from their web of illusions. In case we come together one day, collectively, at that take-off point, where we stand firm and utter in our soul the words, "Narcissist, no more shall you stay in the holes of my life." Reconciliation is just an illusion ever beyond your reach. You cannot step into my private chambers, nor have intimate conversations with me. May that be our parting of ways. Fill your farewell message with a kaleidoscope of emotions and insight, where your personal experiences fade into the background to let a collective perspective in. Wisdom passed down by narcissism discourse generally advises against ever reconnecting with them again in any way, yet over time a strange kind of gratitude seems to develop for those strong enough to break the silence. Words stroked effortlessly at the delicate balance, not to harm or overly placate. Good communication ran through a web of past deceptions and future hopes in such a way that did not shut, but opened up new avenues. But there was always the unspoken, underlying truth. If things didn't work out, it would be better that way. We already had our closure. The narcissist unreasonably denied us that right. Instead, they watched, like the silent observer from the shadows, hacking into our digital lives to steal that unwanted glimpse into our private domains. How did they do it? Maybe it was through the shared email account, maybe even by sneaking a malicious program onto our devices. Now that the narcissist knows one is never coming back into their life, they may tweak their tactics to manipulate one or hack one's life. But we should hold on, never be broken by them. We have to strongly state our boundaries and stand by the fact that their dangerous behaviors are an irreparable barrier to our reconciliation. Their deceitful ways are brought to light, whereby they began browsing through our dating profiles while using the symbol of the Illuminati to indicate that they're always watching. This moment should be a proclamation that detaching from a narcissistic person is a labyrinth of complications. It should put us on notice to be ever watchful for the pitfalls and never waver in making our assertion for autonomy. The labyrinth of a narcissistic encounter becomes even more winding if it is overlaid with a calculated smear campaign orchestrated by these individuals. Despite their prior transgressions, they brazenly attempt to enact the insidious Hoover maneuver. Yet we remain stalwart in our resolve, for we have already refused their overtures. It is this decisive moment in our transformative journey where we finally come to find that we are not any more desiring their return. This discovery, made after months or even years of struggling with unresolved issues in their stubborn absence, reveals how it frittered away the time and effort we expended on it. However, a steadfast belief in a higher power, whether it be an omnipotent deity or the cosmic forces that govern our existence, propels us forward. Irrespective of our current position on the path of healing, there inevitably comes a time when their presence holds no allure. Each of us must arrive at that pivotal juncture where the very notion of the narcissist's return dissipates into oblivion. This monumental shift in our energy and dynamics reverberates through the ether, eventually reaching their consciousness, triggering their desperate pursuit. But fear not, for we now wield the rein of control. In the event that we find ourselves compelled to engage with them, it becomes imperative to temper our emotions and embrace their modus operandi. Now, in retrospect, it was hacked. My feeds were infiltrated and created in a disturbingly privacy-breaking stunt. It's funny to think I found out when strange images began to pop up on my screen. My tech skills are pretty much non-existent, so it was just baffling for me. The one who had to be responsible for that, surely, must have been a grandmaster in the art of digital manipulation and trickery, a sorcerer with godlike powers that controlled every aspect of my technological existence. But I'm getting distracted again. Let me explain how freeing and empowering it can be when one finally makes the all-important decision to let go of our wishes of the narcissist's presence in our lives. It is an act of self-love that nurtures us in our journey to healing and fosters love for ourselves. We owe it to ourselves to tell the narcissist we don't need them and get them out of our lives. We need to speak and convey our dissatisfaction and feelings to them plainly. It's an art to find just the perfect words that would prevent them from hanging around us and instead kick them out of our lives. This declaration is very important because it tells the narcissists that we are through with their abuse. We should remember that we can be met with varying opinions, for example in comment sections where some may express disagreement. Be prepared for the fact that narcissists engage in a lot of word juggling and manipulation to their own advantage. Nevertheless, we should always try to be calmly and genuinely vocal by making it clear that we are not at all interested in making peace with the narcissist. If they have left us, we must tell them in no uncertain terms that we were actually the last ones they pushed away. We have to be very strong in rejection. Never allow them to hoover us back. No contact at all. When a narcissist rejected, pushed, or harmed us, one must remember that it was never for real. Their hunger consumes any sort of energy they can gain, negative or positive. It's up to us to reject them and exercise our power over our own lives. If children are involved, using the grey rock method is quite useful in communication. Stress that the conversation should be about the children and evade talking about other things. Decline any get-ups from the narcissist and don't fall for their sneaky hoover attempts. Stay away and indicate that you are not going to make any conversation with them, except for anything that concerns the children. This will work like magic. The mention will just act as a throwaway comment that they can't help noticing. In this way, we imitate their behavior and make them aware of the hurt and suffering they have put us through. This is a major step in our healing. Now let's talk about hoover attempts. Even though I was aware of it, it caught me off guard. It can be very sudden and paralyzing, keeping us on guard. You may have even had your personal experience with a hoover, and if you didn't respond, it probably hurt them in the worst way. It's because of this that I encourage you to block their efforts each and every time. Together, we can give them the greatest imaginable narcissistic injury and then abandon them to try to find another source of supply in their chaotic world. Forgive my bluntness, but we just let them be and live in their disordered world for the rest of their lives. The important part is to make it clear that they must never contact us again under any circumstances. This act is perhaps the best self-administered medicine toward our own self-care and healing process. When the narcissist realizes that they can't retrieve us back, it comes like a bolt of lightning. They chase us like maniacs, trying to regain that pedestal in our eyes. But this is the very moment of our healing journey. This great narcissistic injury is caused to them. It hurts their fragile ego to its core. We never even realize it, but we as empaths have opened these wounds along our meandering path called life. Quite intense in nature, the topic does justice to a singular video, a probably later one. I am so happy you are watching us here today, and of course, grateful for your support beyond measure. Haven't subscribed yet? Go do that now. Stay tuned for more interesting videos. Thank you.